The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Oh, look at this. Look at this! He got it! Ready for a spare!
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Washington Toyota Dodge Nissan. Looks good.
Looks good! That's good to go! It's a goal!
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
And welcome once again to Park Place Lanes here in Windham. It's week 2 of the new season here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. So glad you could join us once again. Last week, if you missed our first show of the new year, Tom Morgan put on quite a show, a 408, and then had to hang on a little bit at the end as Kevin Davis started throwing some strikes.
Yeah, like he said, he's on like on a roller coaster. He started out real strong, and a little lull in the middle of the match, and came on strong at the end. Made some fantastic spares, enough to win. Yeah, a little scare at the end.
Well, today, Tom, of course, will be trying to make it 2 wins in a row, trying to come up from that number 5 spot that Tom was in. Of course, he would need 4 wins in a row in order to win the series. So let's meet our 2 bowlers, give you a little look at how they look in slow motion before we begin our competition. First of all, a number 5 seed after the win last week from Revere, Massachusetts, Tom Morgan.
Okay, Tom comes in averaging 127, 192 for high single. His roll-off score was 677.
And last week, a 408 and a 10-pin victory over Kevin Davis. So Tom tries to make it 2 straight today, and he'll face our number 3 seed, a guy who's been here before, but it's been quite some time. From Milford, New Hampshire, Bill Kaufold.
And Billy comes in averaging 125, has a high single of 210, and his roll-off score at 695.
A little bit later on in the show, of course, we'll have our bonus ball contest. That'll be worth $80 this week. And, of course, the runner-up in this week's show will get $175 prize money. The winner goes on to our semifinal match next week against our number 2 seed, Mark Gregory. 3 strings of Candlepin bowling coming up. We will have these messages, and then we'll get started. Don't go away. Here are the 5 gentlemen that are in this series on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Again, last week, if you missed it, in our season opener, Tom Morgan defeating Kevin Davis 408 to 308. So Tom is back today to try and make it 2 in a row against Bill Kaufold. The winner of this match faces Mark Gregory, our number 2 seed, next week. And in 2 weeks, we'll have our first series championship match of the season. Bob Kelly will be here for that one against whoever survives these next 2 matches. So Tom Morgan ready to get it started after his 408 a week ago, in which he racked up 16 marks, 14 spares and 2 strikes. Several of those spares were of the rather spectacular variety. Tom trying to direct traffic with the wood. You see it's still rolling a little bit near the 4-pin, the 4, 6, and 10. That wood is going to explode over, but in front of the 6 and 10.
Missed it last week. He picked a lot of those fantastic spares up and some great shots, and that's a 10 box. Bear nearly did the same thing there.
Yes, sir, this time on the strike.
Doesn't have to worry about converting any spare there. In the 1-2 pocket, and they all go.
Well, it's been a long time between visits for this man. Bill Kaufold was last with us in March of 1987. Was here for 3 weeks in that sequence. Nice shot for Bill.
And it's probably shots like that is the reason he's back. You see the replay of that?
Bill came in back in March of 87 as our number 3 seed and won 2 matches against Ron Root and Scott Richardson, and then lost a series championship match to Dean DeRocher. The interesting thing, though, in that first match in which he appeared on our program back in March of '87, as he drops 9 on the spare. Bill won the match by 2 pins over Ron Root. Ron had the last at bat, if you will, in the final 2 boxes of the match and needed just 18 pins in order to win. And he wound up with 15, and Bill won the match by 2. He went on to win the next week and then lose the series championship. Talking to Bill before the show, he remembered all the details from 6.5 years ago.
Always remember those when they don't need a mark to beat you and they still don't catch you. It's kind of a sigh of relief and fortunate win sometimes.
This is on a strike for Tom Morgan, and he converts the spare.
A little extra body English on that single pin. I think Tom thought he had missed it to the left.
Just sliding by the head pin, and that the result. The 4 horsemen left.
And that being the 1-2-4-7, of course.
Nope. Well, you talked about that exact shot last week, Dan. The plastic pins, of course, in vogue now, and that's what happens. You get the lively kick off the wall.
It seemed to, instead of that domino effect, I think they go to the sidewall a little quicker and come back straight across and kind of leave the corner pins. At least that's one man's theory. Could be we don't hit him.
Well, let's see how Bill Kaufold does this time. He'll shoot at the 4 horsemen right.
Billy's ball breaks a little from right to left. It's a little spin on the ball. And
oh, yeah.
No problem there.
We talked last week about all of the new cable systems that have joined us over the summer. So a lot of people getting a chance to watch us here on WNDS for the first time in our new season this fall. So I suppose that probably means, Dan, that we have a number of people perhaps new to the area tuning in and have never seen Candlepin bowling before.
Well, we hope not. I hope everyone has seen it and, more importantly, experienced it, because it's a great game. I'm sure there's people moving into the area, New England area, that have not seen Candlepin bowling, but they live here for any length of time. They'll see it.
I'm constantly running into people from other parts of the country who've either moved here or come back to visit or whatever, and what's this Candlepin bowling all about anyway? Because it is a sport, of course, those of us who are from New England kind of just take for granted because it's always been here, but it's a sport that's indigenous to New England and the Canadian provinces and isn't seen anywhere else.
66 through 5 with a bonus ball to come for Tom Morgan. Early lead of 6 pins over Bill Kaufold.
Half Worcester left. Tom knew it too. As soon as he let it go, he was kind of fading left when he let that ball go. Want to acknowledge, as always, our presenting sponsor on Candlepin Stars and Strikes, the folks at Tri-State Megabucks. Just imagine being rich. Tri-State Megabucks, big supporters of Candlepin Stars and Strikes and Candlepin bowling in general. Bill Kaufold on lane 32 here at Park Place on a spare and tripping out. Not on a spare, I beg your pardon. Had a spare in the 3rd, not the 4th. Has a spare leave now, though, on the 1 and the 4.
I think he was a wannabe, though. He wanted to be on one.
And he's going to be on one.
Well, Bill apparently has solved lane 32. He's spared over there 3 times in a row. He is yet to mark over here on lane 31.
Flush on the head pin, and let's see, it's going to be just 4. Well, I would just try to punch that 2-pin, flush on the 2-pin with the wood behind it. Let's see. He's going to try to split them.
Ooh.
Problem pin was actually the 3, because that's directly across from that 2-pin. And trying to get this for the 10, and he does. And we get a close match. Just 3 pins. Lead for Tom Morgan.
Tom back on the head pin and with a spare leave. The triangle, the 4, the 7, and the 8, but watch out for the wood.
It's going to be a real difficult shot if this wood stays there, which I think it's going to. It's going to have to hit it high in the right-hand tip, try to turn it, and then push it straight back.
That wood is probably a foot in front of the 4-pin. It doesn't look it on camera, and that's what happened.
Pretty good effort by Tom, though. Whoops.
9 bucks.
Now this time the 4 horsemen and the 10. Now this is the time the 4 horsemen will probably go, and he'll leave the 10 pin.
Leaves the 1 and the 10. And another 9 bucks. Bill Kaufold from Milford, New Hampshire. Lives there with his wife Sheila. Bill does a lot of his bowling at King Lanes in Manchester and at the Londonderry Bowling Centre.
On the object pin, the 3, but pushed it straight back, leaves the 6-10.
Londonderry Bowling Centre, of course, is where we tape Stars and Strikes doubles here on the Winds. And a reminder, Stars and Strikes doubles is now aired Saturdays at noon here on WNDS, so you can enjoy bowling both weekend days at noon. Stars and Strikes doubles Saturdays at noon, and here on Stars and Strikes Sundays at noon.
2, 4, 5, 8, and the 10. Piece of wood rolling up. You may want to just, no, I guess you can't catch really a piece of that wood and still carry the 2-pin, but he's going to shoot at the triangle, diamond I should say, and hopefully he'll carry the 10.
Oh,
Carried
fine
the 10.
effort, yeah.
Left the 4.
And a 9 bucks. Seem to be plagued by 9 boxes all of a sudden. A 3-pin advantage still for Bill Kaufold. Should say a 3-pin deficit.
Five and 10 left for Tom. Piece of wood behind should help. Yes, right on it. Spare. Made it look easy. Just the angle of the wood jumps the 5 into the 10. Spare in the 9th. Half a dozen on the fill. 1, 3, 7 and 8.
Clears it out. We'll take a look. The 3, 7, and 8. Spare for Bill Kaufold. In the 9th, the 7, 9, and 10, but the wood, of course, makes all the difference on that shot.
Absolutely.
4 marks for Bill Kaufold, all spares, and a punch out as it started, but he got away with it.
He's had trouble in at lane 31. Had a 2 on a spare back in the 3rd. And this time he's flushing the headpin. He's hit the headpin the last few times over there, but full. It's a little break, but he's got a testy piece of wood out in front. Oh, no. I thought surely he had that spare.
But he didn't. And don't call me Shirley. Bill will have the 3-pin deficit hold. Seem to be trailing by 3 for about the last 5 or 6 boxes of that first game. And that'll be the difference after 1. Tom Morgan by 3. 2 games to go, and details on the bonus ball contest coming right up. Very nice consolation prize from N&R Trophy. But if you win, you get the cash in the jackpot, plus you and the bowler each get a brand new set of bowling balls from Paramount Industries in Medway, Mass. Bill Kaufold starting our second game, trailing by 3.
Looking at the 3 and the 7, and he wants that wood to rest up against the 3-pin. Well, even where it is, he's got a shot at making this. If he plays the 3-pin and happens to be on the left-hand side of it, the ball should move the wood toward the 7. Let's see.
Done.
He's right on the 3-pin. Kick the 3-pin into the wood.
Mark number 5 for Bill Kaufold. All spares.
One, 3, 7 left for Bill. 7 on the spare.
For 2 in a row, no. Had to wait.
Almost.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge one of our participating sponsors in this series on Stars and Strikes, Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan, Emmett Horgan and all the gang. In Salem, New Hampshire, come to Salem and save. Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan.
Been with us many times over the years.
Yes, indeed. Indeed they have. Tom Morgan on the head pin, a little full, but he got away with it.
If that 4-pin falls forward, he's got a strike. 2 and the 4. And watch out for that wood in between the 2 and the 4. Should be far enough back, so it shouldn't affect it, but...
Right there for the spare. That's mark number 5 for Tom. He has 4 spares and a strike to this point.
Trying to protect a 3-pin advantage from that first game. Opening game, if you just joined us, Tom Morgan 121, Billy Kaufold 118. And he's doing just that. Still has that 3-pin advantage.
Yes. Oh, fine shot. That's a tough spare right there.
Certainly is, with the sleeper in the back. The 9-pin in that case. Got to be full enough to drive the 3 or the ball through to get the 9, but not too full where you leave the 6. Flush on the head pin, kicked out the 6 and the 4 and almost the 7. Now, I like these. I take my chances with these. Hang on. Okay, spare. That's one of those that you look and say, oh, I can't miss this. Just pick the ball up and go, and next thing you know, you pulled it to the left. Take a little extra time. Oh, and again, on that lane 31, 2 on a spare.
Bill is still without a mark on lane 31. All 6 of his marks have been on 32. And a $7. That wipes out the effect of the spare.
Interesting how he's attacking 31 too, because he had 2 on a spare earlier. He left it to the right a couple times. Then he started hitting the head pin full. He may have just put a little more spin on the ball that time and pulled it too far left. Tom Morgan follows with a spare on his.
Oh, but he converts his half-wooster. 2 on the spare and then making another spare. That's a strike ball right there.
Sure is. Usually when you make one like that, you just bury the next one in one of the pockets. And there it is, but unfortunately, wow. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Is that right?
That's it.
I know that's something to laugh at, but it looked like it was a lot better than that. I guess that means he got 4 on the spare.
That's correct. You're catching on to this game.
Hey, 10 years of it.
$8.51. Tom Morgan has taken a 2-pin advantage, make it an 8-pin advantage, adding to his lead as we reach the halfway point. Here on Stars and Strikes, we're coming back. Bill Kaufold trailing by 8 in the match.
Some encouragement from the crowd.
Leaving it a little short.
Yeah, he seems to be fishing right now. Just get the right angle, right speed.
Oh, that's a fine shot. That looked good from the moment he let it go.
There you see the replay. Stubborn 7-pin, but now the problem lane for him. It's been lane 31. Let's see if he can solve that. Looks pretty good going down. A little full. Let's see. 8 and would stay on. No.
Well, the thing that's amazing, Dan, is that this is Bill's 16th box in the match, which means he's now bowled 8 boxes on each lane. Just sliding by. He's now 0 for 8 in terms of marks on lane 31. He's 7 for 8 on lane 32. 8 boxes, 7 marks.
It's amazing how that goes. Tom Morgan for his 5th and 6th frames. 2, 4, 6, 10.
Not enough to get there. And the 10 for Tom. Dead even right now.
A bad break off the head pin. 1 and 2 left.
And the spare.
Was a spare. The button is right next to the spare button, honest. Gotta get this keyboard fixed. One, 2, 9, and 10 for Billy Kaufold.
He's made things work on this lane. Let's see what happens this time. Nope, not this one. And again, coming up short for a 7.
Neither bowler really taking charge of the match. 3-pin advantage after 1 for Tom Morgan, and right now box is completed. It's actually a 1-pin advantage. However, Tom's still got to fill a spare. 1-pin lead for Billy Kaufold, I should say. Boy, 2 7-boxes. So Tom Morgan's working on a spare, and then he's also facing 2 7-boxes. Safe to say he'll take the lead back. Just by how many?
6, Phil.
4, 7, 6, and 10.
Several choices on how to play this. He could play the extreme right wood, or he could play the left wood. He'll try the right side, and it won't happen. $10 instead. The lead in the match now 11. Tom had to get a re-rack on lane 31. The 5-pin was missing. Is that the eagle eye of Dan LaRochelle?
Dan LaRochelle, you can't get anything by that Dan LaRochelle, I'll tell you. You saw that from way back. Deep in the crowd. You get 1 re-rack and 3 timeouts each game. Is that what? Everything but the 2-pin for Tom.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mark in the 8th, I should say. 97. Lead now climbs to 11. 14 overall, 11 in this game.
Well, Bill Kaufold needs to try and solve lane 31 mostly, but also continue to mark here on 32 in the meantime, because he doesn't want Tom Morgan to run away on him here.
And the way we alternate lanes, 31 will be the one he'll be finishing up on. Left it a little short. Ball spinning, wants to break back to the left, but didn't quite get it to do just what he wanted to, and that time he did for the 10.
Bill has kind of an unusual approach and delivery we should talk about, Danny. When he stands at the approach, he's kind of angled a little bit to the left, to his left, which is somewhat unusual. And he really puts a lot of spin on the ball.
Really does. Comes underneath. Ball wants to break from right to left. And you got a break there. The 1-3-7 piece of wood next to the 1 and the 3. Going to try to sweep everything left.
Yes, that is his first mark on lane 31, his 8th mark of the match.
And he's hoping it's going to be the first of many. Or many in this situation will be 5, because that's how many boxes he'll bowl over their next string. And he's right back in the pocket.
8 Phil, 113, 2-game total, 114, I beg your pardon. 2-game total, 232.
A little more upbeat finishing with that spare 8 on that lane, tough lane 31 for him. Tom Morgan working on a spare. And he goes through the middle. Made this for a spare last week without any wood. Going to go at it the same way after the 3 and the 6. With the wood in there, should move everything to the left.
Not enough. Unless Tom Morgan explodes for a double strike or something here in the 10th, this match is going to be close going to the 3rd game. Probably less than a 20-pin difference. 4 horsemen.
Let's see what happens this time. This time it's on the right-hand side, 1, 3, 6, 10.
There it is. Mark number 10 in 2 games for Tom Morgan. He had 16 a week ago.
You see the replay? Leads by 18. To maintain that, he would have to drop 8 on the spare to match Billy Kaufold's spare 8.
Ooh, right through the heart. Just a 3 Phil. It'll be a 124 for Tom Morgan. A 2-game total of 245. And the lead is 13. We've got 1 game to go here, week 2. Candlepin Stars and Strikes coming right back at you. Game 3. Here's our leader. Won last week's match by 10. Has the lead here going to game 3. Sliding by the head pin.
13 pin lead. 13's going to be lucky for one of them.
Oh, sliding by the head pin again. Tom Morgan has 10 marks to this point, 9 spares and a strike. Bill Kaufold has 8 marks, all spares.
The winner of this match, of course, next week, Mark Gregory will be in. As we work towards the first qualifier for the Tournament of Champions.
Big 9 this time. 7 pin, got to negotiate around that wood, but there is room. And he's got it. Let's see what happens with Bill Kaufold here now in game 3. He managed to get what we would assume would be a nice confidence-building mark over on lane 31 to end game 2. His first one over there. Bill wants that wood to stay on the lane somewhere.
Please.
So he'll have some chance to do something.
You know, he might like that. If he can hit that right on the red line, the ball might carry him off the right side for the 10 and the 7-8 with the wood. Let's see. A little too high, but he's going to carry it.
Yes, sir. How about it?
Big smile by Billy Kaufold. I thought he came up a little high, but he still got the same reaction off the wall with a 10 pin into the 8 and then finally the 7. Oops, off target, but
oh, wow.
Is that a turnaround or what? Great spare, missed the head pin and got the strike. That's enough to get you pumped up. He was saying, I've been shooting for the head pin over on lane 31. That's my mistake.
Tom Morgan on a spare. 6.
2, 4, 7, and the 10 pin. There's something like that. You have to make yourself stay focused on what you're doing because there's a 10 for Tom.
Tom having a little fun with the crowd here.
And Billy Kaufold, I think he mistakenly threw one of Billy's ball, and then it bounced up and got the 10. He said, "That's one of your balls."
Ooh, big first ball. Kicks out the 5 pin for the strike.
Amazing. Tom can turn around, talk to the crowd, talk to Billy, and then refocus and throw a strike.
With his own ball.
That's right, with his own ball that time. Billy Kaufold working on that strike.
Again, he came up short on the head pin. He'll shoot at the 4 horsemen left with wood. He's got wood moving, in fact. This may get better.
I don't know if I'd like that piece of wood down low. Well, no problem there. Spare on strike. It's perfect for 3 boxes. Spare, strike, spare. You see the replay. Actually, temporarily anyways, has grabbed the lead. By 1 plus this.
Big start in this first game by Bill Kaufold. 6 drop this time, again missing the head pin. Kicked it out on the comebacker. The 2, 4, 7, 10. Not this time. Well, this match is going to be very tight, it appears, down to the finish. When we come back, Tom Morgan will be working on a strike in the 4th with the lead. Don't go away. All right, things heating up here in game 3. Tom Morgan working on a strike here and actually needs some kind of a fill to preserve his lead.
Actually, he trails by 5.
But that will give him the lead back.
Right. E2 gets a break off that head pin, leaving just the head pin. Oh boy.
Dropped that one a bit, it sounded like. Leads by 4, but he's going to remember that one, I think.
Probably the most difficult spare to make, because you know you got a huge break by missing the head pin, leaving just the head pin standing. You put a little more pressure on yourself. You missed that one badly to the right. Right back on the head pin, though.
And of course, the 9 drop after the missed single.
Now you watch. You'll probably nail this one right in the center. 4 pin.
You got it.
Nice concentration, huh?
He called it. Nice concentration.
Actually, you don't really need to be here at all, Dan. Tom's
That's right.
pretty
He
much
can
doing
fill
the
right in.
commentary.
That's
So.
right. Spread eagle for Billy Kaufold. Both Morgans, they're great interviewers too. They really
That's
are.
right.
They
That's
never
very
lost
true.
for words. A lot of fun. Oh, just the 6 pin out for Billy. He's got to try to bail this out with 8 or 9. And that's a great out.
That is.
Loses another one in count, but he trails by 5. He's opposite a spare by Tom Morgan. As you see the 9 box by Billy Kaufold, he really needs to put a mark up, try to keep pace with Tom Morgan.
He did not miss by much, cutting that 2 pin over into the 3. How about this?
That's
for a
gone.
drop.
No, it isn't.
The 7 pin will stay pinned there.
He's right on it. Matches the spare.
Big mark right there. Both
Absolutely.
bowlers coming up working on marks now.
Yeah. Tom is thinking I'm leading by 5. I'd like an 8 or 9 pin drop, but at least a 5 pushes into double figures, forcing Billy to least mark, and that's a big fill. 9.
That's his 3rd straight 9 drop after a strike. And there's another mark. Tom seems to be putting one of those little surges together again.
Just kind of hangs around. He puts a string together, but Billy's got the making of one himself. He's still got a mark in the 6th. A little heavy. He wants the 10 pin out of there. It's not going to happen. 2, 4, 7, 10. 6 on a mark. This would be a huge one if he cut the 2 into the 10. Got a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Went around the back of it off the sidewall.
Like he said, lack of concentration. Well, he certainly didn't lose any concentration on those 3 boxes, and that was a great shot. Added pressure for Billy Kaufold, and he's right back in the pocket. Good 8, 7 pin drop. Now this could be a tough shot for him because his ball breaks from right to left. It's the 6, 9, 10 in the right-hand corner. I use a little more speed to straighten the ball out.
No.
Too much speed, and it straightened out and left it to the right.
It's a 10. So he trails by 13, which was the deficit coming into this game, but now he's opposite a mark. Really needs to put one up here to
Absolutely.
make it easier in the final 2. Not that it's going to be easy. Oh, boy.
He's going to have to make one much like Tom Morgan did. He's got the 3 and the 7. He's got some room for error because there is a piece of wood next to the 7, but you got to have the 3 pin. Inside.
Oh, no.
The wood was sitting so deep that when it hit it, it swirled around the 7 and didn't have enough to knock the 7 pin down, so he'll be open. He's got to hope that Tom Morgan does not fill this spare.
Let's take a look at that spare attempt. Watch it clip the wood, but not frozen. That's the difference. If that wood had been frozen against the 7 pin, it's a spare. Tom Morgan on another mark, and look out.
That might have done it.
Ho-hum, just another 9-drop. And another spare, 4 in a row. Keep in mind that back in the 4th box, Tom had a strike, then he had a 9-drop, leaving the head pin, and missed it. And now he's ripped off 4 consecutive marks after that, so he could as easily have 6 marks in a row. And there's another 9-drop. Well, Tom had his best game of the 3 in Game 3 last week, and he's done it again this week. 5 marks in a row now, 148 plus a ball. That was his 17th mark, going 1 better than last week.
Ho-hum, an 8. The man's human.
156 and a 401.
Out of nowhere comes another 400 series. Wow. Who would have thought? 245 after 2 and 65 after 5, and he finishes with 5 and 5 big marks.
In the last 5 boxes of that 3rd game, Tom had 91 pins with no strikes. That's tough to do. Bill Kaufold could mathematically have done it if he had started to throw some strikes, but Tom Morgan has made it 2 in a row. And again, he's done it in the 3rd game. Bill Kaufold, by the way, works, I get a chance to mention this earlier, works as the general manager of the Friendlies on Amherst Street in Nashua, right across from Lita Lanes. Someone mentioned to him in the crowd before this 3rd game, be a little less friendly, will you? This 3rd game, well, Bill got off to a terrific start, and he was matching Tom right down to about the 6th box, but Tom Morgan exploding here at the end to get his 2nd straight win. Going to be a fine triple, though, for Bill Kaufold as well, a 136 and a 368, but not good enough on this day. Tom Morgan with his 2nd straight 400. We'll be back with the bonus ball contest. Chat with the bowlers in a minute. All right, week 2 in the books. Tom Morgan with another win, and I was about to mention about halfway through that 3rd game that he wouldn't most likely have a shot at 400, and then all of a sudden 91 pins in the last 5 boxes and a 402.
Well, Billy can contest to this. You can't trust those Morgan guys. You just can't trust them. It's like he was just moseying along, then all of a sudden 5 in a row. Yeah, he's a competitor.
401, I should say, was the final score for Tom Morgan. Let's talk first to Bill Kaufold. Come on up, Bill. 4th place check in this series, $175. Slide right in here so we can get you on camera. I know it's been a long time between visits. We hope that'll tide you over for a little while until you come back and see us again. Boy, all of a sudden, Tom caught fire on you there at the end.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. You know, I started a little too late, and once he gets going, there's no stopping him. So he shut the door pretty quick.
What were you trying to figure out on lane 31? We were discussing it. You were having no trouble with lane 32. What did you finally do different on 31?
I went off the head pin and got the strike. That's what it was. That's all I needed to do, and get the lucky one, and that started it.
Bill, good to see you again. Come back and visit us again, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Bill Kaufold, our runner-up today. And now Tom Morgan for our $80 bonus ball contest on lane 31, trying to redeem himself for last week's effort. So we're looking for a match here. Should be our first one of the new season. Tom getting a lot of encouragement from the crowd. Oh, much better. Oh, maybe too good. Let's see. A 9 this time. Let's see. Digging deep in that TV full of postcards that we've been just flooded with mail last several weeks. Not a match. 7 for Warren Wagner from Groveland, Mass. So, Warren, we'll be sending you a consolation gift. Thanks very much for sending in your card, and ho-hum another 400 triple. Now, I want to ask you about the single that you missed after the strike, because that could have been an important
was
shot,
important.
but then you came right back 5 in a row.
Well, I got lucky after. That was very important. I got still a 9 drop with the head pin. I got a piece of wood beside. I can go anywhere from the head pin to the 7 pin. I go on the right-hand side. I couldn't believe it. It's just lack of concentration. It was stupid. And that could have cost me, but unfortunately I got some breaks and I made some shots after that.
Well, that's 2 in a row, and next week the semifinals, Mark Gregory will be here.
Yeah, I know Mark very well. Very good competitor. It'll be a good match. I know I got a ball good to beat him.
We're looking forward to it. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Another 400 triple. We'll get you back over to the ladder. You can see what else is happening in this series. We're down to 3 bowlers now, of course. Tom Morgan, up from that number 5 spot, has 2 wins, and he will move into our semifinal next week against our number 2 seed, Mark Gregory, coming in from Beverly, Mass. And then, of course, Bob Kelly from Stoneham is our number 1 seed in 2 weeks. So we're down to our final 3 bowlers here in this first series. We've seen some quality bowling, a lot of terrific shots already in these first 2 shows.
And one of those 3 bowlers is going to be the first qualifier, and that's going to be a welcome addition to this year's Tournament of Champions.
Absolutely, no question about it. We hope you're with us next Sunday at 12 noon here on Stars and Strikes. Don't forget, Stars and Strikes doubles now at its new time, Saturday at noon here on The Winds. For Dan Murphy and the whole WNDS crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good week, everybody.